Hey everyone, I hope you all found success in creating your banner and your title for your assessment. Now I'd like to show you how to add questions to your Google form. Alright, so anytime you want to add either a box or another question to your form, you want to just press the plus sign to the right here in this smaller box. So here in Google Forms, we can pick from various different types of questioning that we want to use in either our assessments or our surveys. We have short answer, paragraph, multiple choice, and we can even have options such as date and time. So what I really like about Google Forms or Google in general is that their applications are very user friendly. If I typed in name into this box, it's automatically going to change it to short answer, because usually you don't want to have any other option to put a name. You don't want to put multiple choice or anything like that. So it's very cool that they use short answer right away for their option for the name. What else I would like to mention is that anytime you have a question on whether or not something is going to look right for the user, whether a student or another teacher that you want to complete your form, you can always go to this eye. The preview option allows you to see what your students or your colleagues would see if they would complete your form. So whenever you're in doubt of how neat your form looks like, you can always go to this preview option to see how your form is going to look. So there are three major questioning choices that Forms offers that I would like to go over with you guys. There are multiple choice, drop down, and check boxes. So I'm going to start with multiple choice. So I'm going to open up a new question by add question. And the question I'm going to ask you guys is, how many years have you been teaching? And I'm going to give you guys 4 different options. So option 1 is going to be 0 to 2 years. I'm going to add another option, which would be 2 to 5 years, 5 to 10 years, or 10 or more. And again, I just want to stress, if you're curious to see what this looks like for the user, you can always go to preview. It'll load. And you can scroll down to see what it would look like for someone filling out this form. So the next questioning option I would like to go over is drop down. So if we want to add another question here, and now we want to use the drop down option, and my question is going to be, what level do you teach at? And again, I'm going to give you guys 4 options: elementary, secondary, which is middle or high school, post-secondary, which is probably college, or even a combination of levels. And again, you can see what your form will look like for someone who will be filling it out by going to the preview option and looking it all over. So you can type in your name, how many years you've been teaching, and what level you teach at. The last questioning option I would like to stress is the check boxes option. So again, we got to add another question. And you go to check boxes. And the question I would like to ask here is, what subject or subjects do you teach? The options I would like to give you here are science, social studies, math, English, Encore, which could be gym or art, technology, and so on and so forth. And also special education. And what I'd also like to mention is that you can add another feature called description if you want to add more instructions or more directions to each specific question. So I would like you guys to be able to know that you can check all that apply. So again, any directions you want to give to each specific question, you can just select the description option with these 3 dots. You might be wondering what are the other options or features that are on the bottom of each question. If you hover over these, there's duplicate, so you can duplicate each question if you want to repeat them. You can delete questions, or you can make questions required. And if you make a question required, that means students or other users cannot submit their form unless they have answered the required questions for the form. One other option that I really like is if you go to the 3 dots again, there's an option to shuffle the order. So if you want to make sure that users have a different order for their questions, you can highlight this one, and it'll, for each person that loads, it'll have a different order for the questions, so that it would make it harder for them to cheat. So I think that's a pretty cool feature that Google added. So I'm going to go ahead and make all the questions that I've created so far required, so that means you won't be able to submit the form without answering these. And you also might be wondering why I put the introductory questions on the bottom. And you might run into this problem if you created a question after creating ones, but you want to move them up in your form. You can easily do that by hovering your cursor over the six dot box and dragging it into the position that you want it. So I'm going to move all these introductory questions to the top where they make more sense. So here are all my questions so far that I have that I want in this particular order. Once again, if you ever feel that you don't know how neatly your form is coming out, you can always go to the preview option and look at it from a user standpoint. Next, I will show everyone how to embed pictures, videos, and hyperlinks into their form. Thank you.